so y'all know how I almost died because my tonsils were closing together, no social distancing in sight. So I was finally able to see a doctor. She checks my throat and she's like, yeah, they look kind of inflamed. I bet it's kind of hard for you to swallow. Keep that in mind. I'm like, yes, honey, it is. She's like, I'll give you a steroid shot and an antibiotic. You're going to be good to go. I take the shot, go pick up my antibiotic. When I see this, I was like, I know something ain't right. Because you know I can't swallow right now. So why in the world would you give me the biggest pills on planet Earth? The biggest pills, bro. Look at this. Look at how I'm supposed to swallow it.
I walked into my shared bedroom in college one year, and my brand new roommate, who I'd never met before, was curled up in a ball on the floor in the dark. And I said, "Oh no, are you okay?" And she said, "I was just taking a floor nap." And I said, "Oh, cool." I lie down on the floor. I sleep on the floor too. I'm Kate. I sleep with you now, or I sleep in here now. And she immediately asked me, "What is your schedule?" Because I like to stick to a very strict schedule. So I'd like to know exactly when it is you go to sleep at night and when you wake up in the morning. And I'd like you to stick to that schedule for the both of us. And I said, "Well, I work at a store, so sometimes I have to close it until 1 in the morning, and a lot of days I go and help open it at 4 or 5 or 6 a.m. That is my schedule." And every single night when I would come home from work, she would sit up in bed and glare at me, no matter how quiet I was. I even started taking off all my clothes in the living room so I could just tiptoe into our bedroom and slide straight under my covers, and she would still sit up in bed, look at an imaginary watch, and glare at me. One time I was going over to a neighbor's house to babysit for them, and as I was waiting for the grown-ups to leave, I was sitting on their couch, and their cat hopped into my lap, and she peed all over my lap. And I told my neighbors what had happened, so they let me run home and change and then come back. I was in clean clothes, and their chubster little cat wanted to snuggle again, so I let the cat climb back into my lap, and she freaking pooped out a kitten onto my lap. She was preggo, and she just, this little sack of like life placenta was all over my pants. But let me tell you something, if you help someone's cat give birth, they tip you very well at the end of your visit.
So when I was in high school, I had to pay for my lunch. It was like $2.50, $2.75. You know, like in high school, they give you like the social security number that you could put in so you could get your lunch. So one day as I'm trying to pay my lunch, they're like, insufficient funds. And I'm like, what do you mean insufficient funds? So they threw my chicken tenders away. And this kept happening every week. Comes to find out, a girl had been using my lunch number so she could get free meals and left me starving with no food. I don't know if to be mad or amazed that she memorized my 8-digit social. That was ghetto.
My 28 male, girlfriend 26 female broke my PS4 and doesn't understand why I'm so upset. I don't really know where to go from here. So, some background. During quarantine, I've been playing my PS4 games a lot more. I was able to finish up some stories and complete some big games in my free time in the last few months. It was a great escape for me. My girlfriend Liz never got it fully, but understood I liked playing it and it made me happy. I told her I was really looking forward to the PS5 and was hoping to get one soon. I missed out on the pre-order and the initial shipping wave, so I got a bit sad for a while, but knew I would eventually get one when the craze settled down, whether it was next year or the year after. Her friend Kat also knew of this because her boyfriend was looking forward to the new Xbox. This is what happened today. I was playing Final Fantasy VII Remake, finishing up some last achievements when Liz came into the room with Kat. I said, "Hey babe, how was your day?" And without warning, she pulled the PS4 out of the wall and smashed it on the ground. She then took a hammer and smashed whatever pieces were left. This happened within 20 to 30 seconds. I just looked at her shocked. I asked, "What happened? Why did you do that? Did I do something to make you mad?" This is when I noticed Kat was recording everything with her phone. Liz walks away and then comes back and shows me a PS5 box. I still don't react and she says, "Merry early Christmas." I just walk out of the room and go to the bedroom and lock the door. Liz comes knocking an hour later and asks, "What's wrong? I thought you wanted the PS5. I told her I couldn't even think about that because she literally just destroyed a part of my life that I've created over the last 5 years. I explained to her that she just ruined hundreds of hours of gameplay and saves that I had built up. Liz just said, "Well, can't you just do it again?" This is when I walked out and left the apartment. I came back a couple of hours later with Kat and Liz now both showing off the PS5 to me. Kat says, "Look, Liz worked really hard to get you this. We just wanted to make you happy." I asked Kat why she was recording. She says that some person on TikTok or Instagram did the same thing to their boyfriend and they were happy. Apparently, that's where they got the idea from. A girlfriend came in and broke the PS4 and then gave them a PS5 and everyone cheered or something. I still can't believe it. I told Kat a lot of my life was in that PS4 and now it's all gone. Now Kat is calling me ungrateful and her boyfriend liked the Xbox she gave him. I asked her if she destroyed his old Xbox. She said no and that she just gave it to him gift wrapped. I asked why wasn't I given the same treatment, and it was because they saw the video yesterday and got the idea to recreate it. I told Liz I do appreciate the gift, but that she needs to know she broke a part of me that has been built over the years. It sounds stupid, but I was really proud of my collection. Liz then says, well, why can't you just do it on the new PlayStation? I told her I could, but it would take a lot of time and effort that I may not want to put in again. She just brushed it off and said, well, you can play your new games anyway, they are probably better. At this point, I left and went to a friend's house where I'm writing this now late at night. I really don't care about the PS5 and I'm mad that a viral video made all this happen. But where they think destroying someone's personal property is funny. They tried showing me the video, but I'm not watching that. Liz and I have had a great relationship to this point. We have been together for 4 years and this is the only major issue that has come up. Some might think it's just a video game and that I can get past this, but I don't know if I can. It was the fact that after it, she didn't seem to know why or care to know why I'm so upset. I've never had this feeling before and really don't know how to proceed here.
Once I was having dinner at a friend's house and I picked up a bottle of hot sauce and my friend said, careful, that's hot. And I was like, I can handle it because I recognized the brand they had because I used it at home. And as I was dumping it on my plate, my friend's mom was like, I'm so glad you're enjoying our hot sauce. We make it ourselves. We grow our own peppers. You can see in the backyard there's some bottles that have been sitting out there in the sun for a year now. And I was like, but this looks like you buy it from the store. And she said, oh yeah, we just use those bottles after we empty them out. And I was just like, oh no. Because I could feel the heat radiating up from my plate like a small fire. But I knew I had to eat it because I put the food on my plate. I had to be respectful. And so I was eating and I was crying. And I was almost done with my entire plate of food when her mom was like, this is ridiculous. You're crying. And she took away my food. But then she gave me an entirely new plate. So now I was on the second giant plate of food and I was so full. And then she's so sweet. She brought us out dessert and she's like, you have to have room for dessert. And I was like, and then I waddled home and had fire diarrhea. Once in high school, I was playing Quidditch with some friends at the park because that's what the cool kids did in high school. And we assigned our friend, who we'll call Sam, to be the golden snitch, which meant he had to run around with a tennis ball and a sock. And the seekers had to catch him. But what we forgot about, Nick, was that Sam was that not only was he very fast, he was also very lazy, and he didn't want to run around with a tennis ball sock. So instead of running around, he climbed a tree when no one was looking, and that would have been a solid strategy, except a drunk man wandered beneath the tree and saw him in the tree and got really excited, and he called over all of his inebriated friends, and there was a gaggle of drunk men interviewing him from down below, like, what are you doing in a tree? And he was like, I'm just waiting for some friends. And they were like, are your friends birds? And the seekers, we did see him in the tree, but we left him there because we also didn't want to be interviewed by the gaggle of drunk men.